Remy Leverett, a private dependency action filed by Tina and Richard Leverett, the child's maternal grandparents, seeking award of temporary custody and a finding the child is dependent. We're conducting the hearing, which is the adjudicatory virtually over the internet using Zoom. And we have the appointed attorney and guardian ad litem for the minor child, Ms. Schrock. I think the next people on my screen are the petitioners, Mr. and Ms. Leverett,
Yes.
the child, and the lady in between y'all is who?
Christina. This is the mother, Christina
Mother,
Leverett.
Christina. Well, I was wondering if you'd gotten out of jail the last time when all this was filed, you were in jail. So you got out.
Yes, yeah. I got out
on
on the 8th.
When?
The 8th.
8th of February or January?
No, of January.
Okay. All right. And there's somebody, Gabrielle and Randy. Who are you,
This is
man?
Randy.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm the family preservation case manager.
From DFAX.
Yes, sir.
Okay, those issues existed prior to the time of Mr. and Ms. Leverett filing their petition, and there was some reference to that in the safety assessment that Ms. Fincher did, and Ms. Fincher from DFAX was also on the hearing. So, I need to get both Leveretts and the mother and both DFAX workers off, of you to raise your right hands to take an oath. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony and evidence you're giving this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Do each of you?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. You can take your hands down. We need to talk, be sure to talk one at a time because I can't hear but one at a time. And online, especially if I've got multiple people talking, I can't hear or understand any of it and it just doesn't work. So if you hear something you don't like or disagree with, please don't interrupt. I'll probably end up muting you so I can't hear you anymore. And I'd rather not have to do that, but wait your turn. I promise you get a chance to tell me whatever it was you thought was so important you needed to interrupt somebody else on. I need to address the issue that Ms. Leverett, you're the respondent in a dependency action. The law gives you the right to have an attorney, and the paperwork that you got from the sheriff's deputy told you in the first page in the summons toward the bottom, it told you you had the right to an attorney and you needed to make application to the court if you wanted the court to assist you with a county court appointed attorney. You didn't make such a request. So am I to assume that you want to handle this yourself?
I had an attorney, I had
Not for this.
not for this court, but I had a court appointed attorney
For your criminal case,
Yeah, for my.
when
yeah.
you got locked up?
Yeah.
Okay, well, those attorneys don't do this kind of work.
Okay, so
So,
is it different? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she
no, I
wouldn't be
didn't-
here with you, but you don't want a lawyer?
I don't think I need one.
It sounds like maybe you have an agreement with the parents right now, and if you do, that's fine, but if you change your mind, you have the right to have a lawyer, and it's considered risky to proceed in legal proceedings without the benefit of counsel. Of course, your parents have the right to apply too, but they haven't chosen to do that either. Do y'all have something worked out that you want to ask me to approve as an agreement about how to handle the petition for temporary custody?
Well, I think we're at the court's mercy.
Well, let me explain this to you, Mr. and Ms. Leverett. Nobody's at anybody's mercy, but as the petitioners, you have to prove to me by clear and convincing evidence that this child is dependent. If you still are asking me to give you temporary custody, I can't just go on what you put in your papers. I have to hear evidence about that unless y'all have an agreement about what needs to happen.
Yeah. I think we do. Christina is in a couple programs right now that she's working on. She's doing methadone and goes to the clinic for that and does therapy. She's working with Helping Hands right now with therapy and all of that. And she
Okay.
kind of requested that we handle custody of Remy right now while she kind of goes through all these programs and gets her life back on track. She has started back at work again, and she's doing real well with the program, but she's kind of requested that we kind of manage the custody of Remy so that she can focus on her health and get in her both her mental and physical, so that she can get herself back on track, out of the drug situation, and get through all the other legal proceedings also.
Okay, let me ask you this. Does she live in the home with you and Mr. Leverett, or does she live somewhere else?
Yes, sir.
Yes, she is.
All
And
right.
that's all going, that's all real well too. There's no issues with any of that. She doesn't have a vehicle right now, so it's either her father or I that will take her back and forth to work. I'm home all the time. I'm pretty much retired, so I take care of Remy, and Christina's, here with me. She's not here by herself with Remy.
The child is not left unsupervised with just the mother. That's
No.
all.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
All right.
I'm here. I'm pretty much here 24/7. If I do need to go somewhere, either both of them go with me or Remy goes with me. So we're just requesting the custody until we feel, and Christina feels, that she's in a better position, health and mental wise, to take back over the custody of Remy.
Is that what you've agreed to, Christina?
Yes. Yes, I would like to have custody of my child, of course, but I don't. Right now, there's a lot of things that I need to work on as myself and as a mother, to get myself back on track. To make
Well, you
sure
were,
that
according to the paperwork that your parents filed, you were, if all that was true, which I assume it was, or most of it, if not all of it, you were messing with some heavy duty stuff that people drop dead every day using the stuff you've been using. So
Yes.
you need to get away from it, and you need all the help you can get. I'm glad
Yes.
DFACS has been there and helped you, guide you in the right direction to get some help, but you got to want the help. I've seen many a person have all that help thrown at them, and it doesn't do any good because they're not ready to leave that life behind.
Yeah.
And I make that sound like it's so easy to make that choice. And I know from working with people for so long, it's not easy. And I know that. And your parents, I think, have been with you long enough to know that it's been a struggle for you for some time, and it's not easy. But that's why you need that support system with the professional help. And are you involved with NAAA at all?
Yes, it's so hard to find meetings down here. I've
Yep.
been to meetings, but it's you have to go an hour away or 45 minutes away when I can't.
There's one right here in the downtown McDonough at the Methodist Church every week.
And the couple times that we've been over there to those,
Yeah.
there's not been anyone there. So I will.
Well,
we will-
it
will
may be
look
because of
into-
COVID, something's happened, but that's been a long-standing group. There are groups online by Zoom that you can, I don't know where the registry is for those. Ms. Fincher, Ms. Branham, do y'all have a list of those people, the groups that are out there, either virtual? There's Celebrate Recovery, there's NAAA, and I've worked with accountability courts where everybody in the program has to go to those, and they're all over the place, virtual and in person. Now, I understand you're at a disadvantage. You don't have transportation. You have to rely on your parents. So I understand you don't want to drive an hour to one of those, but there's one in that Relevant Church down in Locust Grove. They have one there. I don't know where you live in the county, but.
Okay, we can check into the Relevant Church when we weren't aware of that one, but both her father and I have told her, if she wants to go to a meeting, just let us know what time, give us plenty of advance notice.
Yeah.
And we'll be more than happy to drive her to the
Sure.
meetings. We'll check on the virtual ones too, but
Is she doing the counseling virtually over Zoom, or is she doing those live?
It's over Zoom.
Okay.
over Zoom. And she is now she started, we got her into there's a Beyond Your, what's it called?
Beyond Your Ordinary Treatment Center.
Yes, which is, she's doing methadone, and that has made a humongous difference
Good.
for her.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm doing therapy and the behavioral specialist, and
Just
I
keep
did
in
not-
mind, if they may not have stressed this to you, but keep in mind, at least from my perspective, methadone, medication assisted treatment is beneficial for a good number of people, but it's a temporary assist. It's not,
Oh,
you know,
yeah, I know
they
that,
don't
yeah.
expect you to be on methadone the rest of your life.
Right,
So
yeah.
you've got to deal with what made you an addict, so that
Yeah.
you can, because they want to wean you off the methadone where you're not
Right.
using anything.
yeah. Yeah,
So-
that's what me and my therapist, I already know that that's not gonna be forever in my life. I know that, and that's why I have this therapist, and that's what me and this therapist are working on, is why I got started with drugs in the first place.
Are you taking any mental health meds now?
No, I'm not on any mental health meds.
I thought I read that you had a mental health diagnosis at some time.
Yeah, I had anxiety, PTSD, and depression, but I'm not on any medication
Okay.
now.
And you don't feel like you need to be?
No.
Good. Because be careful with anxiety meds. A lot of those are very habit forming. And you
Yes,
don't like
exactly.
Xanax, that you don't want to get in.
I
You-
already had a pill addiction, so I don't wanna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well, see, you're learning a lot about
Yeah.
your own addiction, and that's good. Ms. Fincher, Ms. Branham, do y'all have anything to share? I don't see, and I'll ask Ms. Schrock last about approving what they've worked out. And what I would suggest to you that we do, and then I'll hear from the ladies at Defects, is take this as a consent temporary custody by agreement. And as long as mom is not left alone unsupervised with the child, she can remain in the house, and she continue in her therapy and counseling as recommended by DFACS or her providers, and that she remain drug and alcohol free and be subject to random drug screening by the department or by the guardian ad litem, and that we come back in like 6 months to see where you are. Does that sound like a plan? Or I'm not married to 6 months. That's generally kind of a good stepping point to give you time to, it sounds like you've just gotten really started in the last month. So,
Yeah. It's been over 30 days that I've been
Okay.
clean.
so does 6 months sound good?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
If
that sounds
something
good.
comes up and you want to come back earlier, you can just write us a letter and say why we need to come back, and we'll give you an earlier date. Okay? Ms. Fincher and Ms. Brandon, I know you thought I wasn't going to shut up, but I'm shutting up. It's your turn. Don't both of you speak at once.
I do want to say that she has been very compliant with the department from the beginning. Everything you needed of her, she has been very compliant, doing everything we've asked. Her parents have been very supportive. And I do believe that she wants to do better. We also had one of the task force from Henry County PD speak with her. She was compliant with them, and they felt that she wasn't far from being saved from her drug use.
Okay. Are y'all going to continue to provide under this family preservation plan until we come back in 6 months?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So she'll also need to cooperate with those services. And Ms. Schrock, are you on board with this?
Yes, sir. I'm in agreement with the agreement that the parties have reached. I would just ask that everything that the court included in the announcement in terms of the child not being left unsupervised with the mother, that the mother continue with the services, that all of those items are included in the order.
Yes. And who better to draft that than Ms. Schrock?
I was afraid that was coming, but I will do that,
Oh, I
sir.
thought that's why you wanted to go back over it, to make sure you had it all down. Thank you so much. What we're going to do is I'm going to approve that agreement, and Ms. Schrock is going to put it in writing because it takes me so long to type. But we will send a copy to everybody. Now, I need to make sure the lever,
Yes, sir.
is that how you pronounce it? Carolinas?
It is.
It sure is. And you're one of the few that did it right.
Well, somebody who, when that area was developed, must have been the only South Carolina football fan, and they took Carolinas and messed with it.
Is that a reference, I guess, to Carolina?
That's what I wondered. What else would it be?
Yeah, we've always wondered that, but we weren't sure.
I don't have any idea, but I'm a Georgia fan, so anytime I can poke fun at South Carolina or Clemson, I take my opportunities to get them.
Yes, sir.
It must be because the rest of the streets in the subdivision are named after flowers, pretty much.
Well, maybe there's a Carolinas. I mean, there are flower species or plant species that end with that US ending. So maybe it is some
Maybe so.
floral reference.
And the main road.
Uh-huh.
GRA.
Yeah.
if-
The
so-
flora is the plant and flower of the
So
world. Okay.
there are
Maybe
other
that's
streets.
cute.
have flower references as well.
Cute little girl.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
She's
happy.
she's
Happy.
happy.
She had her 9 months checkup today and the doctor said she looks great. She's off the charts on everything and she's very healthy and happy.
And she's not the least bit spoiled.
No.
No,
I
no,
can tell. I can tell.
no, sir.
Right. Unless there's anything further to talk about, we will get that back to you. And I'm going to give you the date now and it'll be in the order that you get. We're going to come back on Zoom on August the 8th at 3:00. And we'll see how things are going.
Okay.
Sounds
Christina,
great.
good luck to you. You're doing well. Keep it up. And listen, one of the best things when you get involved with one of these community supports with AA and you find you a sponsor who you can go to when you're feeling urges to use, because that happens to most people. They get those urges and they've got to learn the triggers that bring it on so they can avoid the triggers. But when they come on, they've got to have a plan, somebody to talk to, somewhere, a safe place to get, and so you don't fall back into using. Okay.
Yep. I'm looking
All
for
right.
a
Well, good luck to all of you. Thank Ms. Fincher and Ms. Branham. Thank you for your work with the family. And I will see y'all in August. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.